Sai Ram. Welcome to Sri Sathya Sai Logaseva Gurukulam video session. Where? Have you heard this anywhere? Yes, today I am going to discuss a new discipline of social science, that is geography. Always you might have heard the question, where? Where is Taj Mahal? Where are Himalayas located? All these questions, it is generally related to geography. Geography is a study of Earth's landscape, people, places and environment. It is the area where we live. Bridge between social science, that is human geography, and natural sciences, that is physical geography. Here, see the landscape, the area where we human beings are living. If we discuss about history, normally the question, the word which is used is when. Yeah, history is about when. And geography, we are asking the question where. So, it is working hand in hand. So, in history, we are discussing about the period. Normally, you will be discussing about AD, BC and all. In history, geography about the location, the place where this has happened. That means history is complete with the help of geography. Here, it's this social science branch geography. It is, see, the bridge between social science, that is human geography, and natural sciences, that is physical geography. Here when I discuss human geography, it will be dealing with population. This human geography, it deals with the culture, the language or the religions. And the physical geography, it deals with the population, deforestation, desertification, or even about the species, extinct species. Geography plays an important role in shaping the life and history of society. Here you might be thinking how this geography is helping us to shape the society, history, the shaping the life and the history of any society. It helps us to recognize differences in culture, political systems, economics, landscapes, environment across the world. Geography helps us to recognize the differences in culture. Here, if you take the area, the land area which we live, it is influencing the culture. You might be thinking the area, the geographical area, is there any role in human life? Yes, it is having an important role. If you think that you are living in an area where it is like a snow-covered region, the climate of that area, if it is very cold, you might be preferring the hot coffee or hot tea, and our life will be mainly based upon that. If you take Himalayas, it is snow-covered region. There, the people, they are using yak milk, yak butter, and even the trees of that area. Everything as per the geography, it is different. As I told, it helps to recognize differences in culture, political system, economies, landscape and the environment across the world. If we know the geography of a country, we can understand what happened in history. Have you heard about guerrilla warfare? This was a war technique which was in practice even in India. You might have heard about Shivaji. And Shivaji, the Maratha king, he had fought against the Mughals and he became successful using this guerrilla warfare. Do you know what is guerrilla warfare? It is a war technique where a small group of soldiers will be fighting with a large army. In that, see, they are familiar with the geography. Our topic is geography. And the people, when they are about to face the enemies, they will be hiding in the forest areas, which they are very much familiar with the geography of that area, and they will be going and attacking and hiding back. Like that, they were successful. I told the example of Shivaji. Not only Shivaji, other kings also have fought in India, even against the Britishers, and were successful with this guerrilla warfare. So as I told, if we know the geography of a country, we can understand what happened in history. Just now I told what is the role of a geography as a part of history. The early humans made bows and arrows and other small tools. See, initially, as the geographical locations, you have learned about the Ice Age, and it has, as time passed due to the climatic cycle, and this Ice Age has changed into the grasslands. And these grasslands and all, it is mainly influenced upon the atmosphere, environment, rainfall, or even the soil conditions. Large species of animals, they were living in that area. The early humans, they made bows and arrows and other small tools. So human beings, they started making the tools. And later on, light stone weapons invented by the early humans helped them in their survival. As I told, this grassland, lot of deers and the black buck, antelope and all, they were there and they were running very fast. So, if they are using huge stones as weapons, it is very difficult to hunt. So, they have switched from the shape of the stone tools. They started using light stone weapons, which was invented by early humans, helped them in the survival. It has helped human beings for the survival. Next one. Do you know Indo-Gangetic plains are the area where from ancient time lot of people they were living. In the previous class, I have discussed about Indus Valley civilization, our own ancient Indian civilization, where when man started settling on the banks of rivers. As the continuation, I am discussing Indo-Gangetic plain, that is, which are the rivers here? Yes. It is river Indus and river Ganga, the most popular rivers in India. Do you know from where they are originating? Yes, they are originating from Himalayas. And as all the rivers, lot of states, it is passing through lot of states, like from Gujarat till Bengal, Bihar, all those regions, even in Odisha. So it went back. Indo-Gangetic plain is the most fertile land in India. It is, see, as I told, fertile land. If the land is fertile, it helps the people for water, for irrigation and for the livestock. As I told, this is because big rivers like Ganga, it brings an abundant supply of fresh water for drinking and irrigation. So, main purpose of water, it is for drinking and for irrigation. That is the main livestock, it was depending upon these rivers. When man became civilized, mainly as I told in Indus Valley civilization, they started settling on the banks of rivers. And the same process it has continued. Even the later age, the man, when they started settling on these regions, as I told, even now it is the thickly populated fertile region of India. And this Indo-Gangetic plains, it became the main centers, like the kingdoms had established in these regions, like Mauryans, Guptas and the Mughals, and later on even the Britishers. They started using that region, conquering those region, and started ruling India. The availability, the main another reason. First I told it is availability of water for drinking and irrigation. Now it is even availability of iron. We have discussed in the previous class about Mehruli iron pillar. And you have understood that Indians from ancient time, we were familiar with the purification of iron and the smelting of iron. So these regions, as I told, the soil is good, alluvial soil, good for cultivation, and now again it is the abundance of iron. It helped the people for the expansion of the empires. All these kingdoms like Mauryans, Guptas, and even the Mughals, they have expanded the kingdoms. Government. Have you heard the term government? You might have seen or read. You might have seen in television or read in newspaper about this term government. What is government? Yes, it is the administrative body. Government of a country makes laws and everyone living in the country has to obey these laws. So the government, it is the administrative body of any country. Do you know which type of government we are having in India? We have in India, yes, democratic government. Government of a country, it makes laws. They are making the laws and everyone living in the country has to obey. We, the people of India, we have to follow the laws. In democracy, people give power to the government when they elect them. So here, in democracy, understand that we are the people choosing our own government. So here, in democracy, people give power to the government. We, the people, we are giving the power to government when they elect them. When we are electing, we are giving the power. Do you know how long the government will be ruling? Yes, the term is 5 years. Are you aware that in ancient time, in Greece, in city-state called Athens, they are the one who, in Athens, this democratic system was first used. In Athens, they had the democratic government in ancient time. That means in ancient time in Greece, the people of the city-state Athens, they started following the democratic government. And in India, see the democratic government, people give power to the government when they elect them. How are we giving this power? By voting. The people, those who are above the age of 18, adult, they can cast the vote and select our own leaders. So in this way, people help the parliament of that country to make laws. See, the law-making body, that is the parliament, they are making the rules and regulations and we are abide to those rules and regulations. If you take this COVID-19, the government had declared lockdown for the safety measures. So these rules and regulations. Recently, I just read that class 12, the CBSE exam, government had cancelled. So this is for the safety measures, considering the health of the children, government is taking the measures. So we are abide to those rules and regulations and we are following these rules and regulations. In this way, people help the parliament of that country to make laws. Do you know which building is this? Yes, this is the Parliament House and where is it located? New Delhi. Just now I was discussing about democracy. And democracy is the most popular form of government. And in India, we are having the largest democracy in the world. Have you heard the term monocracy? Monarchy. Yes, in a monarchy, monarch or king or queen takes decisions and enforce them. So here, what is the difference here? In a monarchy, a government, a form of government called monarchy, in that the head of that country, it will be a king or a queen, and he or she will be taking the decisions. Here the people's role, it will be less. Social science also deals with how we are governed. So here in social science, we will be discussing, as I told, about ancient kingdoms in India like Mauryas, Guptas, and even the Mughals. Like that, different kingdoms they have ruled. So ancient times it was monarchy, and now we have democratic systems. So this part we are discussing in this social science. It helps us to understand the role of people like us in the running of nations and governments. This discipline is called political science. So here our role, we are choosing our own leaders, we are selecting our own government, and then they are administering us. So the role of people, it is very important. Power lies in the hands of we people. Political science is a social science concerned with the theory and practice of politics and the analysis of political systems and political behavior. Now in detail, in higher classes, you will be learning in detail about the importance of this political science. It is a part of social science which is mainly concerned about the theory and practice of politics. That means how the government is ruling, how they are making the laws, how far it is effective. All those things it will be analyzing in the political system, and it is in the political behavior. It tells us how the government is elected. It also even tells us how this government it is elected. Political scientist. Are you familiar with this term, political scientist? The person who had taken this political science in higher studies and had taken the doctorate. That means you have learned in yesterday's class, in previous class you have learned the highest degree, that is doctrine of philosophy, doctorate. So the same doctorate, that a doctor in political science is called as a political scientist. So if you are interested in learning political science, when you complete the graduation and post-graduation, and if you are passionate about learning political science, and if you learn as a philosophy, then you can get the PhD and you can become a political scientist. So political scientists study relationship between political events and conditions. That means in a country, how the government is making laws and how they are administering the nation, how much importance they are giving to each states, and the developments which is brought. All those things they will be comparing and learning and understanding. This political scientists, they study about the relationship between the political events and even the condition of the country. They try to understand general principles about the way politics works. So they are trying to understand how far this political administration, how it is working. It also includes the studies on government, public policies, political processes, systems and political behavior. All these things it will be included. That means how the government is working, public policies, the policies taken by the government for the public, and political processes, all those developments, laws which is made in the system, and also the political behavior. Now, coming to another discipline, that is sociology. It is the study of human being in societal context. So here in this sociology is another discipline of social science where how human being living in the society, how they behave in social context. Sociology, it comes from the Latin word sociology. That means how the people living in society. That means living in community, how the people they have to behave. Sociology, it studies the way individual and group behaviors impact our society. So in a group, how we behave, that also will be influencing the society. As I told, in your home, if you want something, when you are having your food, if you want extra food, you will be asking your mom. But in a classroom, when you have a doubt, you will be raising the hand. So the behavior of the same individual, it is different in your home and also in a group. So to understand the structure of a society and how it works, so it is giving an importance how this society is working. People, you might have heard that man is a social animal. That means we cannot live alone. We have to live in a society. So when we live in a society, we have to understand the structure of a society and how it works. To define and understand different factors that have shaped our society, it includes race, class, gender, culture, religion, even age, belief systems and government. As I told, it is including the race, class, the same age group children. They will be influencing you. The gender, boy or a girl, the friends which you have, they will be influencing the culture which we live in, or even the school which we study. All those things, it will be influencing you. Religion, the religious beliefs. If you take Hinduism, there are different names given to same God, and this religion also influencing our culture, our own behavior and the belief systems and the government. So sociology, it is to define and understand different factors that have shaped our society. It includes race, class, gender, culture, religion, belief systems and government. So the society which we live is influencing us. Did you understand? Now, next discipline, that is economics. Living in a society also means that we must know how to organize our lives. It is much more than making a budget. Here, when I use the term economics, just relate or remember it is something related to money. Think that you have got a pocket money of 500 rupees and you are going to a shop and buying something. So when you search for a product, you will make sure that you will be purchasing a product around 500 rupees. Right? So it is much more than making a budget. It is the scientific study of the ways in which humans make choices about production, consumption and wealth. It is actually human choice. We always want to have a better life, and that it is our own choice. So it is a scientific study of the ways in which humans make choices. As I told, as you got 500 rupees, you will be going for a product which will be useful to you. Your choice, right? So here, production. If I take this pen, this is a product. And when it is used for writing, I am consuming this. Otherwise, it is simply a plastic. So this product I have purchased and I started using this, then it is the consumption and it is having a price. I am paying for this. So that wealth, the amount of that product is the wealth. So once again, it is much more than making a budget. It is a scientific study of the ways in which humans make choices about production, consumption and wealth. Is it clear now? It is the social science of striking a balance between needs and available resources. So it is bringing a balance. It is a choice given to us. Needs, as per our needs, we will be buying the products as per the availability of the resources. So in this class, you have learned about the different disciplines of social science, starting with history, archaeology, geography, political science, sociology, economics. So all these disciplines, it goes hand in hand, which is bringing that holistic and the social progress. So here, index questions. First one, can you explain how geography contributes to the understanding of history? So, how this geography and history works hand in hand. As I told, when and where. List the main components of political science. What does sociology as a subject focus on? What does the study of economics deals with? And how do you think subjects like political science, sociology and economics help you to understand the functions of the society better? So meet you in the next class. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.